Welcome back, my barbecue friends. Super excited about today's video. If you're not familiar with Porter Road, they're an online butcher shop that delivers high quality meat directly to your door. Now, for a lot of people, that's a big deal. They offer a wide variety of dry aged beef, which I have here as a brisket, pork, chicken, including rare butcher's cut. This particular package that I have here in front of me is called the Smoke Heroes box. This is intended for people who want to do an outdoor smoke. These are what I would call the trinity of smoking meats anyways, so this is the Smoke Heroes box. I will have the link to their website in the description. You can go directly to their site and order this exact same thing. One of the great things is they have a flat rate. Now you'll have to go to their website to see on the map where you're located and what that rate might be, but orders over $125, flat rate. Now something that Porter Road prides themselves on is the fact that nothing is coming from a feedlot. Everything is pasture raised, no hormones, no antibiotics. Now, I'm really intrigued about this brisket. It's 14 days dry aged. I've never had a dry aged brisket that I know of. So this is going to be really interesting to me. I can tell you right off the bat, just from looking at the package, I can say this is probably going to be the best brisket I've ever had. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. So for tonight, I'm going to be starting with these. These two take the longest, so it's going to go on tonight. And they're going to smoke through the night on the vertical 6. Tomorrow morning is when I'm going to pick back up, see where they are. Should have a good bark by then, by morning time. And then that's when I'll wrap them in paper and continue them on. So for now, the spare ribs are going back in the fridge. So to me, it looks like I have the point here. This is a half brisket, which is good. I like the fatty part of the brisket more than I like the lean side, so works out for me. You can hear the smoker going outside. It's doing the burn in. So we've got a little bit. Besides, I want these to sit here in their seasoning anyways for a little while. So I probably don't have much to trim off of this. I'm just checking to see where the thick fat parts are. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to cut really much out of this. There's just a little bit of silver skin. I'll probably cut some of this thick fat out. If it's real hard fat, it definitely takes a lot more to render it. So sometimes it's not good to have that in there. I'm not too concerned about the silver skin. That stuff's not really that big a deal to me, especially for just a backyard trim. I might get some of this loose stuff off, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start seasoning. Starting with the binder. Just typical yellow mustard. Actually, I'm going to start with the bottom because I like to cook fat side up. Get everything covered so that, when you're putting your seasoning on, everything tends to stick a lot better. Now, we will start with the coarse black pepper, Texas staple when it comes to brisket. Everybody loves their pepper. Try to apply that as evenly as possible. That's why I do that up high. Now this, I have not tried yet, so I smelled it earlier, and this stuff smells pretty good. I'm pretty excited. It even says smoke bomb. So I'm only imagining that it's going to add extra smoke to this brisket, which is exactly what I want. Now, I will have this down in the description along with the website. This is Uncle Steve's Shake. You can go right to his website and order this exact same thing from him. I have not tried this before, so we're about to see what it's all about. That looks good. Give it a nice pat on the back. Tell the brisket, good job. You want to encourage it to do its thing through the night. All right, let's get it flipped over. Back to the mustard. Get all your sides. Don't want to leave any side out. All right. Now to our seasoning. This stuff comes out pretty good. Nice and even. All right. Getting the sides. All right, that looks good. Whoops. There you go. I'm gonna set the brisket out of the way, get the pork butt on here for its seasoning. Hang tight. Okay, I have rinsed off my cutting board. We are ready to go. Let's get this bad boy cut open. Try not to make an absolute mess. Okay, so just taking a glance here, there is my bone right there. And doesn't look like I'm gonna need to trim anything. I just need to get this thing seasoned up, which is great. So, starting back with the mustard. Let me start on the bottom since I'm gonna be cooking this fat cap up. That's typically how I like to smoke the meats, is fat side up, even ribs. So we'll get all the sides coated. Now for the pork butt, I'm going to be using Meat Church Honey Hog. But as usual, I need to start with my black pepper. Just get me a nice coat on here. Put your hand like that to help bank that stuff back onto your meat. That way you're not losing any seasoning. Go ahead and get a nice layer of Meat Church on here. Okay. Now we'll switch this to the fat cap. Nice little layer of binder here. Back to the pepper. And the honey hog. So while this pork butt and the brisket sit here and sweat it out, get all that spice in there, get it nice and mixed up, I'm gonna get outside, check the smoker, get it up to its set point. Once I put those things on the racks, I'm done for today. It's a pellet smoker. And you know what they say? Yeah, you do. Next time you'll see me is tomorrow morning when I'm checking the bark to see how they look. So let's get this stuff outside and get it going. Morning. Well, as usual, things didn't go to plan, but that's okay. The brisket is actually in its stall phase right now. About 2 a.m., I got alarms that it had reached its 170 point, which is about the time I start wrapping stuff. So it's been wrapped. The pork butt actually got wrapped at about 3 a.m. and has finished at 7 a.m. and is actually sitting in a warmer right now. So it's time to get these ribs going so that by the time the brisket finishes all the way to 203, hopefully these ribs will be done. Timing can be very tricky sometimes when it comes to barbecue. So let's get this started. Pro tip, if you got an extra temp sensor laying around, it's easy to get underneath that membrane and pull it off. Okay, so there's not much for me to trim on this. I'm gonna leave it just as is. So we'll get started with the binder. You can use any binder that you like. Start on the back. I cook these bone side down. That's why I'm starting on the back. I'll just season the back first. Get my black pepper. And I'm using Uncle Steve's Magic ribs. I've had this stuff before. This is good stuff. I'll have this down in the description as well. A link to his website where you can pick up his line of rubs for all different types of protein. All right. Mustard. Yum. Easy. Okay. Magic ribs. I'm going to let this sit for maybe 20-30 minutes. Let this get sweaty. I'm gonna stick this on the smoker, and we will return when the brisket is done and the ribs are done, and I'll have everything here on the table, and we'll start cutting into it and checking it out. Well, it is time. Everything has rested. The ribs just were taken off the smoker. I put my sauce on there, which is Meat Mitch Womp sauce mixed up with some honey. Everything is ready to go. So I'm gonna start cutting into this and see what we got. That's the big thing that everybody wants to see. I'm gonna start with the brisket. The brisket's my favorite. And because this is the point, I think I'm just gonna start in this direction. Definitely have jiggle, and this is gonna make some nice burnt ends too as well. Oh yeah. It definitely looks good. Wow. Oh, it's falling apart on me. Well, let's see. Let me get a taste test. Mmm. That's good. Oh, that's good. Oh man. Okay. All right. I don't want to cut all the way through because, once you cut into brisket, it dies a quick death. So next I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull into this pork here. Bone comes right out. Just smash this up. And I'll just take a couple pieces here. Oh, that's good too. Let me get some piece that has some of that bark. Mm-hmm. Mm. That is good. We're gonna be eating good today. All right. And the last thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna cut into these ribs. They're a little bit turned. The tricky thing about spare. Okay. Okay. Well, I wasted half a rack. I'm not gonna eat that. But I will try this. Oh, man, I love Meat Mitch Womp sauce. Got bite through. Okay, one more bite. That's so good. Well, here's the good thing about the Smoke Heroes box. It's the time of year where graduations are coming up, summer's coming, which means pool parties. You can order this Smoke Hero box and show your family that you're a Smoke Hero too. You can do the exact same stuff. Also, if you don't mind, if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscription. This is the kind of videos I want to bring to you guys. Also, hit the like and the bells for notifications so when new videos come out, you're the first one to see them. I'm Todd with Lone Star Smoke. We'll see you next time.